Greetings, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So, I'm here to do an episode of the series that we're running for the month of February called my 28 albums because it's 28 days. Uh, sorry, 28 albums that had either a love theme or a hearts theme in their title of their album, in the title of their album, yes, or in the band title. So I chose one today that I think many people will agree qualifies as a great album. Maybe many wouldn't have thought of this, but it's right in the title of their album. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, yes. So I decided to include this one. I like this album quite a bit. I like most Beatle albums quite a bit. This one, I like probably as much as most of them. It's probably a top 5 album for me. It has been in my list that I've made, and I still think it is. Some great stuff on this album. This album also, of course, has a special place for prog people because this may be the beginning of concept albums, which have been largely a product for progressive rock. They have adopted this way much more than other genres. Not that other genres haven't done it. The metal genre has adopted a lot of this as well. Some other pop bands have done this as well, new wave bands, but primarily I think of it as something that the progressive rock industry adopted fairly conclusively, at least early on, and is still doing it now. Now, whether I think of this as a progressive rock album or not, I would probably say not. But it definitely is very psychedelic and has a lot of really good stuff. And of course, it's a theme. So you have, for those of you who haven't seen the inside of this album, fantastic. It's really a colorful album, very psychedelic looking album. So it starts out with the song Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which is the title track. Really good. I love Ringo's drum fill here throughout this song, or drum beat if you prefer. I think it's really excellent. The other song on this album, which was probably the song that introduced me to the Beatles and initially why I started following them, which was With a Little Help from My Friends. This was my favorite Beatles song when I was a kid. I didn't even know who the Beatles were then. My dad's brother who lived with us, he was a big fan of the Beatles, and he played this song, and I liked it a lot. I didn't even know that's who it was at first. Then, of course, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, another great psychedelic track. It's had a lot of things written about it, but I think it's a fantastic tune. Very psychedelic in nature. The vocals are really good on this track as well. Get Better, filling a hole. She's leaving home, being in the benefit of Mr. Kite. All interesting songs, yeah. Within You, Without You, another great tune. When I'm 64, this one was a track that I kind of went through this phase where I liked it a lot when I was in my teenage years because my uncle who had moved out had left a cassette or something. I think it was a cassette in the house, and this song was on it. I like this quite a bit for that reason. Of course, the lovely Rita Maid. Well, I worked with a lady years and years ago. Now it's over 20 years. It doesn't seem like it, but it was about, yeah, well, it was before my daughter's birth. So 23, 24, maybe 25 years ago. Her name was Rita. And I liked her a lot. She was very funny, and we had a kind of a discussion with each other all the time, and her husband as well. Like he was very friendly, and they were both very friendly. And every time I see this song, "Lovely Rita," I think of her. Good morning, another good tune. And then the reprise, and then it ends off with "Day in the Life," which for a long time there, I think was probably my favorite Beatles track. So today, this is the album that we're doing. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles, 67 release. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe button. That would be much appreciated. And don't forget the notification bell above my head. And if you want, you can leave comments about the album or about the band or about anything I've said or about the series or whatever you want. If you want to put your own pick there, that would be great. I've got most of the bands I want and most of the albums I want, but somebody may bring up one they said, oh, you know what? I need two or three more spots. That album has got to be on there. Actually, one guy brought up a band I completely forgot about, and so I had to squeeze them in and squeeze somebody else out the door. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm feeling much better for those of you concerned. I think the fever part's gone, so hopefully I'll be able to be back to my normal function. I do apologize for the loss of all the shows so far this week. I don't think I'll be doing any of them. I think I'll just get myself ready for next week, and we will see you then. So take care and have yourself a good evening and goodbye, or good morning and goodbye.